friends! My name is Desiree, aka Mama Friendly, and I do all sorts of videos on my channel, from vlogs to hauls, cooking videos, planner videos, homeschool videos with a Disney twist, a bit of everything. So if any of these things sound like fun to you, I hope that you will subscribe and join me on my YouTube adventure. This video kind of came out of nowhere. I just got bored one night and decided to mess around with some ingredients, see what happened, but what resulted were some really, really yummy gluten-free banana muffins. And so there's not any rhyme or reason from a season perspective really to share these with you today. I usually try to theme my content around a season, around a holiday, and when I think of autumn, I don't typically think of banana muffins. But this recipe would make great breakfasts if you wanted to meal plan over the weekend and just have them ready to go every morning. Quick breakfast out the door on your way to work, on the way to school for the kiddos. So in that way, I guess it's kind of seasonably appropriate all year round. If you want to see more desserts and sweet treats, I have a whole playlist of them right up here that you can check out. But in the meantime, let me show you how I came up with these gluten-free, dairy-free banana chocolate chip muffins. So here are the ingredients that I'm going to be using for my gluten-free, dairy-free banana muffins. You need 1.5 cups of cassava flour, which is naturally gluten-free, 3 large bananas, 1 egg, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I have peanut butter and I'm going to use a 1/2 cup, but if you wanted to make this paleo, you could use a 1/2 cup of almond butter in its place. Lastly, you need a 1/2 cup of unsweetened almond milk. I'm using this Califia Better Half, which is half almond and half coconut. And you also need a teaspoon of vanilla, but you can use almond flavoring, you can use coconut flavoring, whatever floats your boat. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees and I'm going to mix up all of my dry ingredients. So I'm going to mix my 1.5 cups of cassava flour, my 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and your 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You're going to mix this all up in this one bowl and you're going to set it aside. Now that you have your bowl of dries, we're going to create our bowl of wet ingredients. So we're going to start with taking our 3 large ripe bananas and mashing them down with a fork until they're almost liquid. Once they get to that stage, you can add the rest of your wet ingredients, which if you recall was our 1 egg, our 1/2 cup of peanut butter, almond butter, sunflower seed butter, whatever nut butter you happen to have on hand. You also need to add your 1/2 cup of unsweetened almond milk at this point and a teaspoon of whatever flavoring you'd like. I'm using vanilla and I'm also going to throw some pumpkin spice in here just because I figured, well, why not? I'm bringing back the bigger bowl with the dry ingredients and I'm going to mix all of the wet stuff into the dry stuff until it's just combined. If you're customizing your muffins with any add-ins, now would be the time. You can use walnuts or pecans. Get creative, maybe coconut flakes, whatever you have on hand. I'm going to use some Enjoy Life chocolate chips. I like this brand because they're allergy friendly, which means they're gluten and dairy free. Keep in mind though that any add-ins you throw in might mess around with the cook time a little bit, so you're gonna have to keep an eye on everything. This should be enough for 10 to 12 muffins, so I'm going to put this very thick batter into these little muffin liners, and I'm going to bake everything for about 20 minutes or until a knife or toothpick comes out clean. When I pulled them out at the 20-minute mark, they still felt a little doughy to me, so I ended up putting them back in the oven for another 5 minutes. The muffins are really good. Like, really, really good. Wow, that's really good. All right, pals, that's gonna do it. It was a super easy recipe. They were really, really tasty. The texture was super nice. And I can tell you that I personally kept these in the fridge throughout the course of the week so that I could test their meal prep ability, if you will. And the texture was not the greatest coming out of the fridge, but I feel like that's probably across the board for most muffins. However, a quick little zap in the oven. I tend to make my son's bacon in the mornings in the oven, so it worked out perfectly to just kind of slip a muffin in there either while they were cooking or towards the end when the oven was already off but still hot. Kind of gave them new life, and they were so yummy. So I definitely recommend this if you have an opportunity to do that. Overall, great recipe. Very happy that I came across it and very happy to share it with you all. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click that notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye.